Norgren, the search director here at 90, and I'm really responsible for helping to shape and steer both our organic and paid strategies. In this past June, I attended SMX Advanced, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before I dive into it, I'm going to pose the question that Jim alluded to kind of in his introduction. Who in the room trusts Google? Okay, I see like maybe 2 or 3 hands. Maybe as we go through this, a few more of you might consider how Google's working to build your trust. So back in June, I went to Seattle to attend SMX Advanced, and really this conference is geared for experienced search marketers at all levels of an organization. And really why we chose to go was truly the content that was in the agenda. They highlighted some great organic sessions that we thought could really move our programs forward. And you might be asking, why specifically organic when the conference covered everything from paid, social, organic, remarketing, retargeting, kind of a whole slew of things? Well, really, it comes down to kind of some of this conversation and what is Google doing and where are the changes within the search landscape. So if we rewind 5 years ago and we look at the algorithm change history, in 2008, Google only had 2 major algorithm updates. So pretty slim. You're able to stay on top of things. There's not a lot going on. You look by 2011, the market's getting a little more cluttered. Things are happening probably on a monthly basis. You look at last year, definitely a lot more happening. And then you look at this year, in 2013, they're predicting upwards of 600 algorithm changes. So we're talking a few happening every day. And most of those aren't confirmed. At this point, Google's confirmed less than 20 of them. So obviously, there's a lot out there that we're wanting to stay on top of and think of how it's going to impact our client programs. So kind of to that piece, all of those changes are ultimately trying to fight spam. Google really wants to build trust with their audience and know that when you're going to a search engine and doing a query, that they're going to return authentic and valuable results for you. At the conference, they covered 3 main takeaways that I'm going to highlight tonight, all kind of around this idea as a user, they're trying to provide you more value within the search engines. The first one we'll hit is talking about mobile and how really user behavior is defining a way that you're able to trust the search engines. We'll talk a little bit about linking and some of the updates with Penguin and what the advances are and how to effectively manage a linking strategy. And then we'll also talk a little bit about markup and rich snippets and schema tags and how those are creating kind of a snapshot into the organic results before you even make that click. So first, really thinking about mobile. When we were in Seattle in June, Google made the announcement that they would begin demoting sites that had poor mobile usability. And at 90, we've always considered site usability as part of a strategy. We want to make sure that it's working for a user. And really, if you think about that, when you open up your phone and you open up your browser, you wait for the browser to load, you do a search, you wait for the search results to load, before you finally make that click and wait for the site to load. And really, when you think about, well, what's that impact and what's a mobile-friendly site going to do, 1 second of delay is going to cause a 9.5% decrease in page views. You're going to see an almost 8.5% increase in bounce rate, and a 3.5% drop in conversion from just 1 second of delay on your site loading on a mobile device. So really, if you think about that, the user is also not going to return to your site. So you want to streamline that and create trust for your user. And Google wants to represent that within their search results, that you're going to get to a site that's fast to load and is going to provide you the information that you're looking for. Kind of switching gears and thinking a little bit about linking and what did Penguin updates mean. Obviously, a lot of us started to get a little bit scared about the penalties that could have existed with low-quality links, but there's still a lot of opportunities out there for links, and they talked about some of them. Obviously, there's been some conversation about the value of directories, but still those niche directories that align with your industry vertical are really valuable and a great place to think about links. Monitoring your brand mentions, so still tuning into Google Alerts, making sure that you're aware of who's talking about your brands, and actually requesting if there's not a link in that article or in that mention, that they go ahead and link to you. And the other piece is really paying attention to what your competitors are doing and seeing if there's an opportunity to secure links from those same sites. Okay, we've talked a little bit about where you can go to get links. We also want to talk about how are you going to get those links. Going into it, we obviously knew that quality is more important than quantity. You want those high domain authority sites linking to you, so it was kind of a given for us. We also knew the concept of just requesting it through a webmaster, making those requests saying, hey, you've got content, we align with that, can you link back to us? Some of the things that they actually talked about at the conference that was a little bit unique is they had referenced that the follow-up, so initiating a second request and reminding someone that you had already requested a link from them, increased compliance by nearly double. And they also talked about using the word because in your emails with these webmasters. Again, that justification piece increased compliance by nearly double. So make sure you're following up and also using that justification piece when you're requesting links from other sites. And then finally, we all know that content's king. You want to have valuable content for people to be linking to you. But it's more than that. It's more about the idea of what you're going to give versus then receiving that link. So they talked a lot about the content that you're going to create that's going to entice someone to link to you. And they gave a great example of a Black Friday site that had actually been blacklisted within Google. And they went out and conducted a big research study in advance of the holiday season that highlighted why people were looking to shop on Black Friday. And they compiled that information into a pretty good infographic, some content. They put an embargo on it, sent it out to all these news sites, and gave them first access to the information. And with providing that content, they were actually able to start seeing results within the search engines in a matter of a few days. So they overcame some of those obstacles that they had faced previously. Now kind of jumping into schema or rich markup. So basically we're talking about adding additional elements of code to your site that make it a little bit more friendly for the search engines to contain that data and return it back in the search result page. So we've all known that you do a search on Google and you're listed the results. Sometimes you're going to see paid results. You're going to see the organic results. But some of these new features that are being pulled in include offers. So you're able to see what is the price point of something. Is there free shipping on it? You're able to start seeing reviews. So again, tying back to that credibility piece. Is it valuable? Do you trust the person that's giving a review? Recipes. Obviously, this was really where Schema started, kind of the infancy of it, pulling some of that content forward to the user so they're able to know what's there before they make that click. And then also ratings, which kind of ties to that review piece. So the scale of where someone's going to put value on that site. And they gave a great example of hgtv using schema tags. So right now we're estimating nearly 48% of clicks are going to be lost to the knowledge graph or search carousel when you do a search on Google. And hgtv was coming up in 3rd organic ranking for their host, David Bromstead, of one of their shows. And they knew there was an opportunity to try to increase the clicks that they were losing by not only being in 3rd organic position, but also having the knowledge graph pulled in. So they implemented the person schema tag on their bio page that featured his image, and through some of their optimization, were able to achieve this prominent position. So hopefully, they're now regaining some of those lost clicks, and they're able to make up for that. So we've kind of covered a lot with those takeaways. I'm thinking, how can you take some of this data and go and apply it to your business and organization? So mobile, it's definitely important to monitor and prove that user behavior. So we want to create an environment that Google's going to trust to be able to not get that demotion within their mobile search results. So some things to think about are correcting redirect issues, reconsidering a mobile interstitial if you're using one. Just think, you're adding another time that someone's going to have to click and wait for more site content to load. So streamline it, make it easy for them. And also use free tools like Google Webmaster Tools to really see what's out there. Crawl your mobile site, see what kind of data is being recorded. Linking, think about those relationships everywhere. So if you're working a press angle or being interviewed for a news story, request that they link back to your site. If your company is making a charitable donation this holiday season, another great opportunity to ask for a link. Or if you're sponsoring an event, again, linking opportunities. And then finally, with markup, right now there's less than 1% of domains are implementing schema tags. So it's a great opportunity to be an early adopter and kind of gain some of that extra visibility and own more real estate on the search results page. So think about a person attribute on either your team page or your board of directors page. Implement a place tag on your maps if you have them on your site. And then finally, if you have any products, feature those offers or those special promotions that may be happening.